Hello there, welcome to FFS Livestream. Usual banter here. We've got the details on the side of the screen, so you can email us or tweet at us, send us some questions, send us some comments, send us some feedback, keep it clean. And we're going to talk now in the magnificent Pleasance Dome to John. John, how are you doing?
Good evening. I'm very well.
Excellent.
And they might not know me as John.
They might not.
No, they may be like, who's this guy?
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Normally, I'm a mythical creature called Piff the Magic Dragon.
You have a morning off on that.
Yeah, well, I have every morning off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you stay in character a lot of the time?
No. No, I don't. I stay in character on stage.
Right.
That's it. And then off stage, done.
And you've brought a friend.
No, I haven't. I brought my business partner.
Your business partner.
This is Mr Piffles, who is also in his regular day clothes, or naked.
Yes. Yeah. So he has a mini little dragon suit.
Yeah, he wears a dragon suit. I, on the other hand, am a mythical creature.
Right.
So he's just going to sort of like hang around there and look for a place to urinate.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that would be that's good television. Didn't do any harm to Blue Peter all those years.
It didn't, but that was an elephant.
True. Also, yes, he's maybe slightly off camera, so if he does urinate...
Both factors working against him there.
Let's lift him up immediately if he starts to urinate.
Okay.
So you've done many Edinburgh Fringes before?
This is my ninth.
Ninth Fringe?
Yeah.
And you're on at the stand?
Yeah, at the Newtown Theatre.
Yes, it's over there in Newtown, isn't it? It's a little bit away from the sort of the main kind of hub of it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, every year the hub moves. Like, you know, a couple of years, like last year, it was hubbish down there. It was like the assembly rooms, and this year now they've reopened this place, so the hub's back up here.
The assembly rooms is massive as well now over there. They've got like a venue out in the street now, and like all of those bars and.
Yeah. Well, last year I think like the stand was all over there again. So it was bigger there. So that's half the thing. You've got to chase around the hub of the Fringe every time.
Do you find it easy? Do you enjoy Edinburgh?
Yeah, I like Edinburgh a lot.
You're not here for a long run this time, are you?
10 days. I've got a show in Vegas, so I have to stay in Vegas most of the year. So this is actually my vacation.
Right.
Or holiday, as I used to call it.
A lot of Edinburghers do the opposite. They all go to Vegas while the festival's on.
Then they come and see me. Yeah, I used to get a lot of people from Edinburgh in Vegas, actually. So, I take a couple of weeks off a year. I come here. We're in London for one night. We're going to Manchester at the end, and then back to Vegas.
Because you moved over there, right? Are you a citizen?
No, I've got a green card. Okay. But it was a lot more convenient to live there while I had a show as opposed to commuting every day.
Right.
That was a drain.
Because you had a great run on America's Got Talent.
I did, yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know how big that is in England. Like whether people see it. I'm not sure if it's on.
Well, they have the internet now.
Really?
Yeah, so they can see it on the internet.
All right. Well, we could check that out. I mean, you can probably find a link to that on the internet, I guess.
Probably while watching this, you could also open a new window. And
don't tempt people, man. That's exactly what they'll be doing.
All right, you could close this window and watch that.
How do you find Edinburgh in terms of like coping with it? You seem like a very kind of sang-froid type.
What does that mean?
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded? I'm a reptile.
Sort of...
What do you expect? I live in a desert.
That's a good point. I hadn't made that link before.
There you go. Look at that.
So there's a lot of pressure usually.
Cold-blooded. That's what sang-froid means.
Sang-froid.
Sang-froid. Yeah. Well, these days, this is my holiday period.
Right.
So, I do about 500 shows a year. So I don't really have to worry about what we're doing for the show because we're doing it 500 times a year.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little bit more relaxed. And then, we have enough of an audience now that we don't really worry so much about people coming to the show. Although it's nice when more people than necessary turn up. And so I get to sort of just enjoy it and see my friends who I haven't seen because I don't live here anymore. So I catch up with them. And Piffles gets to sleep most of the days, except when he has to do interviews like this, and then he just looks for a place to urinate, which he's still searching for. So I have a nice time here.
It's interesting, like, because we've had a lot of people on the show saying, you know, well, 27 shows, you know, over a month, it's a marathon. It's like, you're doing 500 a year.
27 shows in a month, that's a light period.
Do you change your act much? Like,
Yeah, we try and we put new tricks in all the time, and they take about 2 years to develop. From like beginning idea to it being really good, it's about 2 years. So
because you've blended comedy and magic. I mean,
into one.
I consider you a comedy show. Do you consider yourself a magician, or is it?
Consider myself a genuine mythical creature.
I thought you were going to say genius.
No, I wasn't going to say that. The dog is a genius. I mean, look at that little face. But no, it's definitely a mix of the two.
So it's interesting. Yeah, you've got a support network here because you've seen. Do you get friends coming up from all over the UK?
Friends, you know, that I've made here over the years. So I see them. I tour with, you know, my girlfriend all the time. She's with me all year round, so she's here as well. The dog, obviously, a dragon's best friend, and you know, I make sure that I make time to see them all.
Do you see a lot of shows while you're in Edinburgh?
No.
No.
This year I might see a couple more, but normally no. You know, I'm too busy.
I was going to say, and if it is your holiday as well, then that's
These days is my holiday, but well, no, this is not. It would be nice to see more, but you know, we're doing like little guest spots on different places, and you know, I just try and not run around like crazy these days.
How has it changed for you here since you first came up? Can you remember when you first arrived here?
Yeah, when we first came here, we were doing the free Fringe. I was flyering every day on the mile, trying to convince people to see the show, and you know, it was a hustle every day. And these days, it's definitely more relaxed than it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And the free Fringe has expanded as well, like alongside the festival.
Well, I only did the free Fringe one year, and then I moved into paid venues.
And was that? Did you have that crowd that came with you?
Not for the first year.
Right.
But in the third year, they came back, and they've been with me ever since.
How do you pick yourself up when you're having that run where people aren't coming?
Well, it's good to have that experience because it's good to learn how to play half-empty rooms, because you never know who's going to be in that room. You know, it might be the person who's going to help you get the room full. And if you do a terrible show to that person, then they're going to go, well, this is somebody who doesn't care when, you know, it's not going well. So, you know, part of this career is like, it's up and down, and you have to be able to sort of dig deep when it gets difficult and find a way to move it into that next stage of success.
In those early years, were you hustling mainly for audience or for industry or both? Were you trying to get agents and?
Yeah.
Did you find that easy? Was there any resource?
There's nothing easy about it. It's not an easy job. And the other thing is, it's also a very unnecessary job. Like, if you're a doctor, that's a difficult job, but you need doctors, and, you know, doctors save people's lives. And so there's a reward ethically. You're making the world a better place, and there's also a financial reward. You know, when you're a performer, it's like nobody needs another performer. If I stop doing my show tomorrow, everyone will be fine.
I mean, this is what I mean about sang froid. It's like that attitude is what I think a lot of people could learn from, because for some people they're here and it's like it is the most important thing in the world.
Well, no, it's not the case. And I think, you know, they're going to learn pretty quickly that that's also not the case.
Hopefully. Because I think that's the pressure that makes this so difficult for so many people.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, particularly in recent years, I don't know whether people have just got more comfortable with talking about it, but there's lots of people who've had a lot of kind of mental health difficulties getting through the festival just with all of the various pressures.
Well, but I don't think there's nothing that's like special to our industry about mental health. You know, it's like accountants have, you know, trouble. I think like this thing, like all the pressure and all these people, it's like, no, it's just life. You know, it's like, it's a general state, and especially in the world as it is today, when there's so much anxiety around, and so I think that's almost unhelpful to start thinking, oh, because we're performers, we have it more difficult than anyone else. It's like, no, we don't, and it's just a sort of normal part of life, and you have to find a way to, you know, reach out for help, really.
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of pushing around the kind of the wider industry in this as well. So rather than just performers, but we're also trying to think about the venue staff and PR people and reviewers and, you know, just everybody that works here, bar staff, everybody that works here. It's a massive pressure for everybody.
But, you know, the mailman, the taxi drivers, it's the same. There's no like fringe industry that like are struggling at this time with mental health issues. It's just people generally. So
certainly the cab drivers that I've encountered here.
Oh yeah,
they're having trouble.
Well, they have to deal with performers all day.
Yes, yes. Actually, we had a cab driver yesterday who was saying, and I don't know who it was, so if anyone wants to admit this, but he had a couple of people bitching about reviewers in the back of his cab yesterday, which he found incredibly entertaining.
I had a reviewer, and the opening line of their review was, "Magicians are like pedophiles, redundant if children aren't around." So.
How do you pick yourself up after that, or do you just immediately put the paper down?
There's nothing personal about that. That's just somebody thinking up a zinger.
Yes.
And
I've been carrying it around with him for a good few months.
Yeah,
and I thought,
waiting for the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I presented.
It's like those Hollywood films that come out near Christmas and they're just going, which one can we do the Christmas turkey joke on?
Exactly.
I've been working on that for a long time.
Exactly.
So what are you hoping to get out of Edinburgh this year, apart from your nice holiday?
Nothing.
Just do your show.
Well, you know, it's like, what's the best case scenario?
For you?
Yeah. Because I have a show in Vegas.
You might get discovered. This could be your big break.
I tour all over America.
Yeah.
I play all over Canada. Things are fine. Things have worked out well. So now when I come here, then there's no like, that's a nice thing. Is that I don't have to like wake up every day going, God, I hope something happens today, because if 0 people come and I perform to an empty room for the rest of the festival, I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Everything will still be fine.
You're gonna pop up after the seat and just have a little look.
I'm never going up after the seat again. I did that
again?
1 year. Yeah, I did it 1 year.
Okay.
So far.
It is.
Yeah. Piffles ran all the way up.
Really?
He ran all the way down and he ran in circles for half an hour.
And you just like felt the burn in your calves for about 5 days.
I was done, yeah.
I think we've said on the show before, the biggest mistake that everybody makes is they kind of go from this side and they just go straight up without realising that actually there's a really nice little gentle path that goes up on the other side.
There should be a ski lift. That's what.
Drag lift, ski lift,
That's
something.
what you need to do, Edinburgh. Put in a ski lift to Arthur's seat and then I will ascend it.
Are you hoping to do anything else up here while you're here?
I'll go to the sea.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Portobello?
I live in a desert, so I'd like to see the sea again. That's it. This is where Mr Piffles and I first met. Look, he's gone to sleep. He's done. He literally just face planted himself.
You met up here?
Yeah.
Did he have another show and you thought,
no,
we can work together?
In the first year I was here, I was doing this show and I thought, this act needs a gimmick. So I went to the girl who was running the venue, she had a chihuahua, and I put the chihuahua in my show, and it was so funny. The next day I went out and found Mr Piffles in Dundee. That's where he's from originally, and we've been together ever since.
I detected the accent.
Yeah.
How well trained is he in order to do?
He just sleeps all the time. Look, I mean, he just. Where are you going? Look, this is it. This is him on a date. Look, there we go. That's it. He just hangs around doing nothing.
Does he do lines? Does he?
No.
You do his own tricks?
He sleeps 25 hours a day. He just learned to solve a Rubik's Cube.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he does that every show. Solves Rubik's Cubes.
It's a beautiful thing. I could just look at him all day.
Yeah, this is talent. Look at that. Look at that. That is on-screen talent right there.
So if you come into Edinburgh, you know, this is what you got to compete with.
Yeah.
So when you were doing your flyering, did people treat you well? Did you find that people were generally surly and...
They're mixed. There was a whole mix. It was like some people were interested and some people didn't want to know. And, you know, some people just wanted to pet the dog.
Right. You brought some cards.
Yes. I was asked to bring cards.
Righty-ho.
So, yes.
Could we ask you to do something with them?
Well, the dog is going to do your magic trick.
I'm up for that.
All right. So you're going to take the cards, then reach in, you can grab any one of the playing cards you like.
Just take one out?
The important thing is you don't let the dog see. All right, yep. So you're going to take it out. Do you have a pen?
Can I show the camera?
Yeah. Do whatever you want at this stage. I mean, you got it?
Yeah.
Do you have a pen?
I do.
You have a pen that's going to write on a playing card?
Possibly.
No.
We'll have a go.
No.
No? I've got a pen.
Okay, good. Now you're going to write your name on the playing card, but the other side, that's it, that side. That's it, big letters all over the front of the playing card. Very good, showing it to the camera. All right, we're going to place it back in the deck, could be anywhere you want.
Anywhere I want?
Yeah. Now we're going to show it to the camera one more time so that we all get to see. All right?
Yeah.
This one. Now, you want to pick up Mr. Piffles?
Mr. P, come here.
Don't call him Mr. P, he will. That gets him going.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we pass the cards around the dog's aura. One card rises just to be with him and changes into the 6 of diamonds. It's a dog, what do you expect?
Well,
you're going to take the 6, hold on to the 6 like this. That's it, you're going to rub on his face. Rub the 6 on his little face. Take a look.
mate.
This is
a very talented dog.
This reaction is why I left the country. If we were in America, somebody would have thrown that dog 6 feet in the air and they'd be running away screaming. Oh, we're not though. It's just mate. Mate, look, I mean, God, this is brutal. Look at that. That's your card.
That is my card.
That's what you wrote on.
It is.
You rubbed it on the dog and it changed.
That's my terrible handwriting.
Do you understand the
I don't.
magnitude of what took place?
I don't.
You chose the ace of spades.
I did.
You literally rubbed it on the dog and it changed. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what to do. That's it.
Mate, on this bombshell.
Mate. Oh, God, this is... All right, well...
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us. Thank you, Mr. Piffles, for bringing your gift to the world.
You've been great. Thanks so much for watching. You can catch another episode tomorrow. Thanks.